Every morning, millions of people over 60 wake up, open a cabinet, and swallow a handful of pills they cannot pronounce. One for the joints, one for the inflammation, one for the pain, and one more to fix the damage the first 3 are doing to their stomach. But 3,400 years ago, God gave his people 5 remedies that did not just cover the pain. They went after the cause. And not a single one of them came from a factory. By the end of this, you will understand why entire communities lived without pharmacies, without painkillers, without a single pill bottle in the house, and what they reached for instead. Stay with me. Imagine a village in ancient Israel. Late afternoon. The sun is dropping behind the hills and the air is starting to cool. A man comes in from the fields. He has been working since dawn, cutting grain with a hand sickle, and somewhere during the day the blade slipped. There is a deep gash across his palm. It is bleeding, dirty, and starting to swell. There is no clinic, no pharmacy down the road. His wife looks at the wound, walks to the back of the house, and reaches for a clay jar on a stone shelf. Inside the jar, a thick golden substance that catches the light. Honey. Raw, unfiltered, straight from a wild hive. She packs the honey directly into the wound, presses it in with her fingers, wraps the hand with a strip of cloth. That is the treatment. That is all. Now, if you told a modern doctor this story, most would shake their heads. But hospitals tested it. Raw honey killed bacteria that antibiotics could not touch, including drug-resistant strains that shut down entire hospital wards. The FDA actually approved honey for wound treatment, not as folk medicine, as real, regulated treatment. But you do not need a hospital to use it. Got a cut that is slow to heal? Clean it, spread raw honey over it, cover it with a bandage, change it twice a day. Got a sore throat? A spoonful of raw honey in warm water with a squeeze of lemon. Drink it slow. Mix raw honey with a pinch of cinnamon and eat it every morning on an empty stomach. Your grandmother probably told you something like that. She was not guessing. Proverbs 24:13. My son, eat honey, for it is good. God was not talking about flavor, and that was just the jar on the shelf. The first remedy, the simplest one. Now the evening comes. The grandmother of this house is sitting near the fire. She has barely moved all day because her knees will not let her. Every step is pain. Her hands are swollen. She is 60-something years old, and her body is fighting her. Her granddaughter does something that no pharmacy would ever recommend. She takes a small chunk of golden amber resin from a pouch near the hearth. Frankincense. She grinds it into powder between 2 stones, mixes it with olive oil until it becomes a thick paste, and rubs it into the old woman's knees and hands. Slowly, with both hands, until the skin absorbs it and the heat from her palms pushes the oils deeper. On cold nights, she puts a fresh chunk on the coals and lets the smoke fill the room, so the old woman can breathe it in and feel her chest open up. This is not ritual, this is medicine. The same resin the wise men brought to the baby Jesus, alongside gold and myrrh. Gold for a king, myrrh for burial, frankincense for healing. Modern trials tested it on people with osteoarthritis, and the results matched anti-inflammatory drugs without the stomach damage. And you can do exactly what that granddaughter did. Buy frankincense essential oil, mix a few drops with olive oil, and rub it into your knees, your hands, your shoulders at night before bed. Let it soak in while you sleep. For chest congestion, put a few drops in a bowl of steaming water, lean over it with a towel on your head, and breathe deep. same method, same plant, 3,000 years apart. God put the answer to joint pain in a tree that bleeds golden resin in the desert. We put it in a bottle that says, may cause internal bleeding. And we call that progress. 2 remedies down. And we have not even left the house. Later that night, the family eats. But not everyone. The grandfather is not eating. He has been fasting since yesterday, not because food is scarce, because he chose to. 1 day a week, sometimes 2, he takes nothing but water. He has done this since he was young. His father did it, his grandfather did it. Moses did it for 40 days on the mountain. Daniel did it for 21 days in Babylon. Jesus did it for 40 days in the wilderness. They did not have a word for what happens inside the body during a fast. But in 2016, a Japanese scientist named Yoshinori Osumi won the Nobel Prize for discovering it. When you stop eating for 12 hours or more, your cells start cleaning house. They break down the damaged parts, the junk that builds up over decades, the stuff that causes brain fog and joint pain and fatigue. Your body recycles what is broken and turns it into fuel. That discovery won a Nobel Prize. And the Bible had been prescribing it for 3,400 years. The grandfather does not know any of that. He just knows that on the days after he fasts, his mind is clearer, his body feels lighter, his joints ache less. He has watched men his age who never fast slow down and fade. He has not. And you can start the same way he did. Skip dinner one night and do not eat until lunch the next day. That is about 16 hours. Drink water. Drink herbal tea if you want. But let your stomach rest. Do it once a week. Most people notice the difference within 2 weeks. More energy, less fog, less stiffness, getting out of bed. Here is the part that should make you angry. We spend billions on anti-aging creams and cellular repair pills, and the most powerful repair mechanism your body has is free. You just stop eating for a day. The way they did in the Bible, 3 remedies, and none of them cost $1. Morning again. A child in the house wakes up coughing. Fever, chest tight. The kind of sickness that comes every winter. The mother does not reach for a box of pills. She reaches for the door frame. She takes a bundle of dried hyssop from the door frame where it has been hanging for months. She boils the leaves in water over the fire until the steam rises thick and sharp and minty. She holds the child over the pot and lets him breathe it in. Then she strains the liquid, lets it cool, adds a little honey, and gives it to him to drink. Hyssop, the plant David wrote about in Psalm 51. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. The plant God told the Israelites to use during Passover. Researchers found antibacterial and antiviral compounds inside it. One study showed it reduced viral activity by over 90%. Medieval Europeans burned it during plague outbreaks. Why should a man die whilst hyssop grows in his garden? And you can use it the same way. Buy dried hyssop at any herb shop or online. Boil a tablespoon in 2 cups of water for 10 minutes. Strain it. Add a spoonful of raw honey. Drink it warm when you feel a cold coming on. For a steam treatment, lean over the pot with a towel on your head and breathe in for 5 minutes. Your airways open up. No pills, no drowsy side effects. Just a plant, hot water, and 10 minutes. That was not superstition. That was 3,000 years of mothers paying attention to what worked. 4 remedies, 1 house. Not a single pill. The last remedy is not for a crisis. It is for every day. The quiet one. The one nobody notices until they stop using it. Olive oil. Every meal in this house has it. Drizzled on bread, mixed into soup, rubbed into dry skin after a day in the sun. The father dips his bread in it every night the way his father did, and his father before him. In Deuteronomy 8, God describes the promised land. One of the first things he mentions is olive trees. Not gold, not silver. Olive trees. Olive oil fights the slow, invisible inflammation that builds inside your arteries, your joints, your brain over decades. The kind that modern medicine throws anti-inflammatory drugs at. Drugs that damage your stomach and kidneys over time. Olive oil does the same job without destroying anything else in the process. And using it is the simplest thing in the world. 2 tablespoons a day. Drizzle it on salad. Dip bread in it. Pour it over soup, over vegetables. First thing in the morning, take a tablespoon straight with a squeeze of lemon. That is how old men in Greece and southern Italy start their day. Those regions have some of the longest living people on earth. Not because they found some secret pill, because they never stopped using what God put on the table. We pay $20 for a bottle of anti-inflammatory capsules. They had olive oil. Every single night. Now step back and look at what you just saw. 1 village, 1 family, 1 ordinary week, and 5 remedies woven into the rhythm of daily life. Honey packed into a wound, frankincense rubbed into swollen joints, a day of fasting to let the body repair itself, hyssop steam to clear the chest and kill the fever, olive oil on every table at every meal to keep inflammation from ever taking hold in the first place, infection, joint pain, cellular damage, respiratory illness, chronic inflammation. 5 of the most common health problems after 60, solved by 5 remedies that cost almost nothing. None of them required a prescription. None of them came with side effects. We replaced all of this with shelves full of pills we do not understand, made by people we will never meet, for problems that used to be solved from a jar on the shelf, a tree in the yard, or a single day of rest. And the strangest part, none of it disappeared. The honey is still there. The frankincense trees are still bleeding golden resin in the desert. The hyssop is still growing out of stone walls. The olive groves are still standing. The fast still works the same way it worked 3,000 years ago. We just stopped reaching for them. If something clicked today, share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to keep uncovering what God placed in plain sight, subscribe and hit the bell. Every week we find what everyone else walked right past. The table is set. Come sit down.